Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Boom Rookies with Grub, presented by ESPN, coming at you live from the Grub Hub. My name is Matt Bungard, and with me today, Josh Reynolds. Hello.
How are you, mate?
Mate, doing great. How are you?
I'm good. The Grub Hub's about to have an explosive episode. I can feel it. Good news.
Yes,
Yesterday was Monday.
that's right.
Today is Tuesday.
Correct.
There is no bad news about any Mad Monday so far.
That's true.
This is
actually.
good
Yeah,
because let the boys play.
mate.
They don't do it often,
Yeah,
but boys do it respectably. But at the same time, I like it because they need to let their hair down. It's a strenuous season, and I'm just glad.
yep.
Is that a weird thing that I'm
No,
happy
I
about?
think
That?
I hadn't even thought about it, but it's a great point you make. Just like don't set anyone on fire, and we're fine. The bar is low, but so far we're above it.
Yeah, there was a few times, a few of my teammates, I just had that lighter ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. But we are. It's Mad Monday for 9 teams, but 8 teams are still going strong in the NRL finals. We're coming into the best weekend of the year. 4 games of finals footy. I can't wait. You can't wait. So we've done our little bracket predictors for the rest of the postseason. So we won't get too in depth into what we think is going to happen beyond this week because we'll save that for next week and whatnot. But we've predicted the whole way through just to see how we go. So we've done it on the NRL's website, so we can't screw up the draw thing where it flips over with the winners and losers and stuff. We've idiot proofed it. So
I would have stuffed that.
Absolutely. All right. So Friday night, Dog Storm. We've both gone Dogs.
We've both gone Dogs.
Now, my reasoning for going with Canterbury is 2 things. One is the Jerome Hughes injury is massive, of course.
Massive.
And the other is I think back to that game 2 weeks ago, and I know that the Storm won, but I thought Canterbury outplayed them. Canterbury had 1,000 line breaks the night. They dropped 3 tries over the line. And as we'll get to more and more when we get to the grand final preview, Pats, but it's really difficult to beat teams twice in quick succession when you play them. It's so often the case that a team that beats a team late in the regular season then turns around and loses to that team if they meet again in the postseason. It happens more often than you think. And for me, the Dogs would have been hearing all the press about them for the past, 12 or 14 weeks or whatever, basically since the halfway point of the season where they started to lose a few games and every week was a moratorium on their season and their signings and the future of the club and all that stuff. They'll have listened to all that stuff. They're coming off a pretty flat performance on Saturday night. Not that it meant much, but they still weren't great. But they're going to go down to play the Melbourne Storm, and I think they're going to reverse the result from 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I'd like to feel those stats that you just mentioned about teams not beating teams twice in short succession. And I know, well, I yawn at it. I yawn at the press. Boring. Come on.
Now you are the press.
Well, yeah, I do yawn at myself in the mirror multiple times a day. But I yawn that at the moment there's a agenda against Bulldogs. Every single day there's a new article about something and Lockie this and game day this and trust me, whoever's writing, no one inside the walls cares. And I can promise you that. I was at our presentation last night. We all speak the same language. We all know that, and it's not the popular pick amongst a few of the media outlets and whatever. But all I do know is that there is hopefully one of my greatest coaches said that you have got to ambush the ambush. When I say that, Melbourne are going to be on.
Yep.
Harry Grant's back. Uto Kamanu's back. They've still got a few out, but they very rarely lose 3 games in a row. Well, I would like to know. I wish I looked it up when the last time they have lost 3 games in a row. So they'll be ready, and they'll be ready to go. But 2014, first semi-final.
Tim Laffey's finest hour.
Tim Laffey this is honestly all the Dogs have got to do. And this is a very, very non-footy expressive term. You just got to go down there and absolutely not give a shit.
Yep.
You cannot care who you're playing. Melbourne Storm, hard to beat in Melbourne. Don't care. Go after them like the Dogs have been. Start of the year, how are Dogs winning games?
Just out gritting, out efforting everybody that they play, smothering teams
and attacking with their defense. And when they're like that, when they're forklifting players, putting them into the sidelines, that's when I know the Dogs are on and everyone's into their attack and blah, blah, blah. But semi-finals are 1-14-12. Semi-finals are 1-8-6. Sometimes they blow out, but a lot of the time, the way the Dogs style want to play, I'm not scared of the matchup with Melbourne. People might call me crazy. People might call me one-eyed Bulldog supporter. But I honestly mean this. I really do.
No, I believe you, and I'm not a Bulldogs fan at all. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it will be low scoring. But I just think that no Hughes and probably no Pappenhausen unless they get special dispensation to get into play. I mean, we don't have team list in front of us yet, but I just think that's two massive outs for Melbourne. I know Harry Grant's back and he was playing great before the suspension, but I think Canterbury just have so much more to prove. The Storm have been there, and I don't think if the Storm lose this game, it's a disaster for them. I don't think it's a disaster for Canterbury either, but I feel just like they have a lot more at stake in terms of wanting to shut people up. And I know you say that people don't care, but it's got to be in the back of some people's minds at some point.
Media?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, some players don't know how to deal with it better than some players do. I know, the coaching staff and all people within those four walls are constantly reassuring, stick to the system, stick to the process, stick to the system, stick to the process. And that's what creates this. That's what creates coming third on the ladder. It's not doing anything out of that. That's how you sort of got there. And what do you think Melbourne do positional wise? So we're going to find out.
Well, we're going to find out very, very soon. But so without Pappenhausen there, I think we'll probably see Nick Meaney go to fullback, and it just depends who's available to fill the rest of the back line. But they had the Joey Chan thing earlier. They had Tuamalotu Brown, but I think that with I think Howarth's possible. He's pretty sure he's back. In. That's massive for them.
Huge.
I think getting Howarth back enables you to put Meaney at fullback, and obviously you still lose the strike of Pappenhausen, but allows you to strengthen what is a weakness because there's no one there with Meaney without weakening another position because you've got Howarth coming straight back in.
Good point.
So if you can do that, that's great. And you've still got Coates.
You think either Peasant or Wishart plays 7?
So I want it to be Peasant. I think it should be Peasant, but I think they're going to go with Wishart. Again, we're going to look very – because no one's even going to hear this before team lists come out because we record on early Tuesday afternoons. But I would want to see Jonah Peasant there. I think he's only had a couple of chances to show his creativity in that Storm jersey, but I think he hasn't looked out of place at all. He's a guy that I think has a lot of potential and a guy that I think could be a difference maker.
Big game.
Big game. That's what I think they should do. I think they'll go with the safe option though. Go with Wishart.
Yep.
We'll see. All right, so on to Saturday. We're both going Panthers over the Warriors.
Yep.
And this one, it just feels like the Warriors season has really run out of steam, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Warriors. Mate, honestly, I'm happy to put my hand up when I'm wrong. I got them wrong at the start of the season. I had them out of the 8. I had them bottom 4.
Yeah.
Just couldn't see where it was coming from. But now I look at their roster and, Barnett's out, Metcalf's out. But there's a team there that play for each other. And Andrew Epps has done a really good job at creating a really good culture down there of guys that work hard. Nickel Clockstadt, Rocco Berry, all these guys, even Harris Tavita, they're not silky, they're not smooth, but they will go hard. They'll go all day. You've got Fisher Harris leading you. You've got Nia Corey, who's just unbelievable. Aaron Clark's had a great season, and I understand the Warriors' blueprint now. But as you just mentioned, mate, I'm just not sure that they can keep going. And I just think they're at home. That's a plus for them. That is huge. Because I unfortunately would say if this was a Penrith home game, this could have been anything. But I give them hope at home, and there'll be Warriors fans out there that say, I've got absolutely no idea. I could be wrong. But I just think the Panthers, they are primed. This is Nathan's time. He loves this time of the year. He's freshened them up. And the guys that, I think we've spoken about on the podcast before about the young guys of Penrith. They're finding their feet. Blaze Talangi, McLean, Jenkins. They're feeling a part of this Penrith system now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, McLean and Jenkins have been the best combo of the year. I think they've been sensational on that left hand side. So everything, all the pieces are starting to come together. And they looked real good. I know it wasn't a particularly meaningful game for either team on Saturday against the Dragons, but I thought they looked very polished at times. They looked good. Forward pace looked good. Isaiah Papali'i's really come on in the second half of the season. He's been another big contributor. And they need a couple more guys to contribute in that forward pack to fill the void of the guys they've lost, especially Fisher Harris. And he has done that. He's really stepped up, I think, in the second half of the year. So I think, it's a shame the Warriors season has ended so meekly, but I think they should be pretty proud of the season that they've had overall.
I think Penrith have got so many gears. Penrith start well, blow you off the park, but then they can sort of they cruise and they cruise, they throttle, but then all of a sudden they go third, fourth gear, bang, bang. Dragons had a bit of a sniff, but it's interesting. It sort of looks like they just wait and see how easy they can get away with the game.
Play with their food a little bit.
You reckon? Yeah, and then
they have done.
But then Nathan.
Yeah, so
it's just like I feel the way they play as well. the silky skill, and like there's just plenty to like about them the last few weeks.
I want the Warriors to SOS bring Jet in for his debut. Jet v Nathan. It's obviously not going to happen, but how sick would
Interesting call, but yeah, good luck with it. It might happen.
By the way, I think Suafalongo was pulled from Queensland Cup duties. Yep. So if their backline is Falongo fullback, then you keep Meaney and Howarth in the centres, Warbrick, Coates on the wings. That's still a very good back five for Melbourne.
I just don't know if Bellamy trusts him.
Yeah, fair. It's been a while.
Without playing enough game time. Yeah. And he's that type of guy where he'll win you the game off the back of his brilliance, but he's also not known for his defensive.
One to consider.
And that's a semi-final.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a mindset Bellamy would want, I think.
For sure. All right. Second game on Saturday night. Sharks hosting the Roosters at Shark Park. This is the only one we disagree on this week. I'm going Cronulla. I think the home ground advantage will get them over the line. You've gone with the Roosters, who are looking red hot at the moment.
Question for you.
Yes.
Would have you gone Cronulla if Hines was out?
No.
Nice. So Hines is the factor.
Well, I mean, he's so important to everything they do. And I actually, what you asked me before the show is really interesting because obviously we know Trindle's battling that injury. Do you bring him back? Because Atkinson was probably their best player on Saturday night against the Dogs, and I think that Atkinson-Hines combination looked really strong. And I don't think they're going to do that because the Sharks are a team that are very consistent. They get set in their ways. In fact, that game on Saturday night that Trindle missed, that was the first game in the entire season they hadn't had the same 1-6-7-9.
Yeah, I heard that in the commentary. Crazy. It's pretty crazy.
So I don't think they'll do it, but if Trindle's racing the clock for injury, I think it's nice to know you've got that fallback plan with Atkinson, who I think is going to be a big piece of the Dragons puzzle for 2026. But for now, he's a guy that could be a difference maker. I think they played each other in a finals game at Shark Park 2 years ago. The Roosters narrowly won that game, and I think the Sharks will be wary of the fact that they've had so many good seasons under Craig Fitzgibbon now, and yet they've only got that one finals win to show for it.
Spoke to Josh Hanna this morning on the radio, Sharks assistant coach, and he was new Titans coach.
Yep.
Just to let you know,
in
case you didn't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. He said the same thing. This group's been together for a while now. He was saying that losing semi-finals, getting to the prelim or whatnot, it teaches you lessons. So he feels that they've been taught a few lessons over this period of time, and he thinks they're ready to go. Been an interesting season for me for the Sharks. So hit and miss.
So much.
And that's an interesting stat that you say, like, that's the first game.
Which is crazy, because you'd think that form like that would fluctuate with guys not being there. But it's the same team pretty much. Who have they had injured? K.L. Liddell. Katoa was out for a little bit. Hazelton was out for a little while. And that's about it in terms of their key players.
Wilton, was he out for a bit? Or was suspended?
Maybe. He was out for a little while. But
Nickera.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But
Billy Burns has come in that back row and looked pretty good.
But I just on the point of what you mentioned about Atkinson, you're definitely putting Trindle.
They're going to play Trindle.
I think so. And it's do or die.
You can't. If you make a move like that as a coach and it backfires, you are going to get crucified. It's that simple.
But someone falls off the bench, I think, because you have Atkinson on the bench, but I also think it's going to be points in the game.
Yeah.
And if you're chasing points, you got to have Atkinson on there with the boys.
Yep.
Three of them play that sort of role of
100%.
113, 7-6, just throwing the ball around, shift on shift. So who you dropping? Talakai, Hazelton,
Oregon Kafusi, I think.
You're dropping him.
I think you have to. I don't think you can, like the way Rudolph and Hazelton, like Rudolph starting the game.
Hemmanuele?
Maybe. I think it's him or it's Oregon or Braden, I think. I don't think you can drop.
Tough call on Oregon.
You can't drop Talakai. That guy's a difference maker. And if you get an injury in the centers or something, or on the edge, he can cover.
Okay.
You need Hazelton.
Well, maybe they leave Atkinson out.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think they're going to have to go with one. I think one of those middles has to drop out. Don't know which one. Rudolph's been playing great. It's obviously not going to be Adam or Blake. It's not going to be Hazelton. Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be Kafusi or Hemmanuele if you're going to have Atkinson. I think you need Atkinson. I think you do.
But I will say, if you're a chance of beating, if you want to beat the Roosters, you need to go toe to toe with Lenu, Collins, Crichton, Radley, and N White, because that's
White's
where the game's won. In a semi-final, a big game, you better roll the sleeves up, boys, because you're not going around them. And these Roosters guys, they know how to win semi-finals. They know how to win big games. They know how to win competitions. Yeah, we're going to speak about a couple of plays around Xavier Coates at the moment because he's so hard to stop. But
no one going to ask.
Well, how are you stopping him?
You can't. I had a front row seat on Friday night. Hey, you don't stop him. That's just
so half your game plan's got to literally be about escorting. Yeah. And because this is where the games are being won. Because if you're not scoring points, offset plays or little.
But it'll be if anyone is going to fancy themselves, anyone's got the confidence to do that, it's Mulatalo.
Yeah, good call. Yeah,
I'm really excited for that.
What a battle,
mate! It should be.
Both sides got great aerial threats.
Yep, Sharks got them 31-18 when they played like 10 weeks ago. But there was I think Chad Townsend played in that game for the Roosters. I think
that's right.
Savala didn't play.
Yep.
But I think that Cronulla and their players will be so mindful of like all the talk about how they're flat track bullies and regular season warriors and all this stuff. And I think this game is where they have to finally put a line in the sand and get over the hump. And I think they do at Shark Park. If this game had been moved to Allianz, like some people wanted, I'd tip the Roosters. But yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we talked about it last week, and you and I are both very much Team Shark Park.
I've changed my mind.
You've changed? What?
The game. I read an article throughout the week of just a couple of things and Portaloos, and I think we're past it as a game. Josh. Unfortunately. I know I had to think about this, and I forgot to tell you. I was going to pre-warn you, but I thought I'd surprise you.
Well, yeah.
I just think for the exposure of our game and where it's at and the fan base that we can create at these bigger stadiums, it's sad.
It is a shame because it's likely the only all Sydney game we're going to get in the finals as well. That's the other part of it. Because there's only going to be, after this weekend, there'll only be one more game in Sydney. That'll be whenever the Dogs host either week 2 or week 3. That'll be it. So, yeah, I get that part of it. I just I can't shake the fact that the alternative would be to play at the Roosters home ground. That doesn't seem fair. But also
but you can't do that. So if this was
the Sharks to Parramatta, are you?
Well, wherever they want, they can pick wherever they want.
I think they pick Shark Park.
Well, they can, but they can play at Suncorp if they want.
Ooh, don't mind.
Maybe that's
Do you remember back in like the early 2000s when like all the finals were at SFS and ANZ? So like you'd have like Brisbane versus the Warriors at the Sydney Football Stadium,
and the grounds are perfect for some reason. How are the grounds perfect? And now we can't even get one game right.
That's a great point. Look, they do need to upgrade the stadium. I do agree. I think the groundswell and noise around this has been so loud this time that I actually think there's a big chance this is the last time this place holds a final. Even unless they get it renovated and it becomes like a.
Is there any chat about that?
There's been a fair bit this week. I've got a couple of my friends. Like I'm going to this concert on Saturday night. One of my friends was supposed to be coming, and now she's like, she was already like, I've got to go watch the Sharks fan. I was like, no, you should go to the game, and I was like, you should especially go to the game given it's probably going to be the last final Shark Park host. But tough one, tough spot to be in, but at the same time. Yeah, look, they should renovate the stadium regardless.
I agree.
They should sort it all out. But yeah, this game is going to be at Shark Park, which is why I'm tipping Cronulla, and you're going to the Roosters. But should be fireworks. And then finally, we're weirdly in lockstep on this one on Sunday afternoon. Canberra and the Broncos down there in the nation's capital. It'll be sold out, full of Raiders fans, and we both tip Brisbane.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and I've got a few Raiders mates that will not be happy with me.
I host the podcast 2 times a week with a Raiders fan. This is a dry run talking about this with you before I'd say it to his face on Thursday.
Really?
He doesn't know this yet, so he's going to be heartbroken.
Have you heard some news today
about Josh Papali'i?
About Reece Walsh?
Oh, that who knows if that's true? The calf stuff.
Well, he stopped training. It's not a good thing.
It can't be good.
Honestly,
but it could also just be very precautionary.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't be worried about it.
It could be, but if your calf is tight, there's a reason for it. So even taking him off is a precaution, and he might be fine, but there could be something in it. And same with Big Pups. I don't know. People seem to think that Canberra are going to be okay with the depth of their pack and bring someone in, but man, he's their spiritual leader. Canberra have gone against everything that Canberra are really, really good at moving players on when they're ready to go. They've done it to some great players, some great Canberra players. They kept Pups for a reason.
Because he's still killing it.
His main I think Ricky Stewart's main exception. But good point. Pups played Origin this year. We forgot about that, So, but I don't know. The brand of footy that Brisbane are playing right now.
This was the hardest game to pick for me.
Easy.
By a mile. Because Canberra have been the best team this year. I don't think anyone could really argue that.
Yep.
But they've also the way that they attack is so different to everybody else, and the manner in which they won some of their games just through sheer effort and just never giving up. And they've had 3 games this year: the Storm game, the Sharks game, and the Panthers game, where they'd lost the game after 79 minutes, and they won all 3. That's really hard to do. And that's not really something that's sustainable, although they've done it 3 times, so maybe it is. But Brisbane are the complete inverse of that to me. Brisbane are a team that for 20 minutes a week, every week, will look like the greatest rugby league team you've ever seen.
Yep.
But I was really impressed with them against Melbourne on Thursday, not just because they won, but because of the manner of their victory. The second half of that game, they managed their way to the finish line.
Yeah.
They didn't do the normal Brisbane stuff where they were scoring in 6 consecutive sets or just throwing the ball around and having a great time and making 1,000 line breaks and looking like they're going to score or trying to score in every set. They very smartly and very pragmatically got to the end of that game and
So
saw
they
Melbourne
closed it.
Yeah,
like which
is what you need, as you know, that's what you have to do in the finals, right? It's shootouts in finals are very, very rare. They don't happen very often. And this game might be one, but it might be a situation where the Broncos are up by 8 points with 15 minutes to go. And instead of, throwing 20-meter cutout passes and trying to score and turning the ball over, we saw more of what we saw from them on Thursday night, which is just playing smart, still not playing conservative, still being direct, still being aggressive as Brisbane are, but playing within yourselves a little bit just to ensure that you can get your way to the
I think it's Reece Walsh.
Yeah, he's the best player, the most important player to any single team in the finals.
And he's erratic at times, but he's the best. He's the best in the game at times, but he's balanced at the moment.
Perfect.
He's great. So he goes down there with that mentality, that mindset. They're going to be hard to beat. I'll also say, and I still think it's because I played against Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart. I played against Ricky Stewart as a coach.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart retired when you were
play against Ricky
11, Stewart. So that would have been difficult.
And similar defensive system to when I played. Whenever I played Canberra, I knew their edges weren't going to be aggressive. I knew if I ran first, I would get a bit of joy. If you're going to backpedal on Reece Walsh on the try line, he will make you pay every single time. So I don't know if they're going to change it up or, that's my query with the Canberra Raiders sometimes. Their edge defense is just a little bit brittle at times. Not brittle, wrong word. They're not on the same page at times. Someone's doing something. The wing is coming up. Timoko's staying back. And that's just
every Raiders fan I speak to, that's been their only concern this year is their edge defense. And similarly, Brisbane fans have similar concerns over their team's edge defense as well, which I think is fair enough. Yeah, Walsh to me is the best player on either of these teams right now. And I wonder, and this is actually something that a fair few Brisbane fans have said to me during the last couple of weeks, is that they actually think the attack's been simplified a little bit without Adam Reynolds there, and they actually look better for it. What do you think about that? Not suggesting he's a detriment, but just the stripped down game plan and Hunt sort of knowing his role and when to give Walsh the ball and stuff has made their attack a bit more potent.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But
you're still bringing Reynolds back.
100%. Yeah. But if your ego is a killer of teams sometimes.
Correct.
Adam Reynolds hasn't got ego, right? But at the same time, Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mann still feel they themselves could be have big impacts on games, which is actually great because it works sometimes.
Correct.
But I feel at the moment Billy Walters and Benny Hunt are doing playing together well, but as a team as well. But all they're doing is opening up space for Reece Walsh.
He's
giving Reece Walsh wide falls when he wants them. And sometimes I'm just thinking of Benny Barber. When I was playing with him, all I had to do was give him the ball in a good position and back him up. And who cares if you're not in the paper the next day? Who cares if you're not 3-2-1 on the points? You win games.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing well.
That's what they're doing. Well said. All right, so week 2 of the finals. We won't spend as much time talking about these because they're hypothetical matchups. They may well not happen. I'm going Raiders over Sharks. You're going Raiders over Broncos?
I'm going...
Oh, Raiders over Roosters, sorry.
You got me then. I went back.
Sorry,
I'm going Raiders over Roosters at home.
And we're both... I'm going Storm over Panthers. You're saying Storm gone in straight sets.
I am. Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's tough just with their injuries, mate.
I think that, it's tough. It's just... And then prelims, I got the Broncos up there. I got them beating the Storm, and I've got the Raiders coming into Sydney. I think it's going to be a great prelim if we get Dogs Raiders, just like that first game was with that massive Dogs comeback. But I like the Raiders to get them. I think they've just got a few too many points.
Yep.
And you've gone the same result.
No, hold on. Where did we get it wrong here?
I don't know. You've got Broncos playing Panthers,
and I'll go Broncos for that one.
And you got Panthers Raiders. Bulldogs
Dogs
Raiders. How good are we going?
Bulldogs
Raiders.
Yeah, so I'm going Dogs.
Of course you are.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So the Dogs beat the Broncos in the grand final.
And going back to what I said at the top of this segment, where it's hard to play a team twice, a quick selection beat them, I got the Raiders flipping the script on the Broncos.
No, you can't do that.
You can.
You can't.
Penrith did it to South in 2021.
Well, your memory's too good for your own good.
My team losing a grand final in heartbreaking circumstances.
Yes.
They're tough things to forget, Josh. I wish I could forget them. But week 1 of that final series, South gritted out that narrow win over the Panthers. Great game. Blake Taft played really well. 3 weeks later, they met in the grand final. Cleary bombed the hell out of him. And Penrith got over the line with the interception and the missed conversion from Renault and all that stuff. And Penrith got the win 3 weeks later in the one that mattered. So I think there's a chance that whoever loses that first major semi this weekend makes it to the grand final anyway. Because I think the Raiders and the Broncos are the 2 best teams right now.
Well said.
Thank you.
But you're wrong.
All right, let's move on to our attacking player of the week. Now, there's not a great deal to analyze in terms of structure with this one, Josh, but it is such a unique try. Did you ever score a try like this as a half?
Seriously? Do not rub it in. You know what? I will say, when I was young, I feel I had some. I wasn't quick, but I could go over long distance at a solid pace.
Yeah.
So like I had scored a couple of long distances, but this isn't a breakdown of any attack or anything. This is just Mitch Moses at the moment where he's at, and if we can just stop it right here, this is where Mitch Moses to back himself from this moment when there's two, we call them 2 dead Marines.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, and it just shows you what level he's on. And if we play it from here, we'll see that he,
So what's the Knights left end done wrong there, Josh?
Nothing. They've done nothing. That's the problem. But that is a beautiful goose step and a beautiful sight.
Did you ever get someone with the goose step?
A beautiful show of speed. If I'd done a goose step, I'd fall over.
Fair. Right.
But it just shows me how close. This is a big call. Mitch Moses is to Nathan at the moment. I just think speed kills, and Mitch can beat you with his speed. Mitch can beat you with his kicking game. Mitch's passing game it's not as good as Nathan's, but it's still good.
Yep.
Oh man, it's going to be a tough call. Well, he's got to be on the Kangaroo Tour. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think they should both.
Yeah, both. Not. I'm saying, but he's got to be thereabouts.
He has to be in the squad. For sure. Absolutely.
And that,
and then it comes down to Munster, Ben Hunt if he's there. Like who else is in the frame?
Dearden.
Yeah, Tommy Dearden. Best Origin, but had an amazing Origin. It's
gonna be interesting. It's a big
call.
call.
I think that right now, 2 most informed guys, Nathan Cleary, Mitch Moses.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. On the defensive side, this one is really interesting because for weeks and weeks and weeks now, we've been going, how do you stop Xavier Coates? How do you stop Mark Nwanga-Nitawase? And Brisbane came up with a great idea. It turns out you just grab him.
I love this. Here I am thinking when I break down defensive minds and this and that, all we're doing is we're looking at the Broncos players literally ripping Coates' jersey and him just knowing that, you know what though? He's smiling, right? He's smiling, but Reece Walsh goes in for a handshake. He literally tackles him.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. But he's going that good at the moment in the air that it's too hard to stop him. I will say, if we pause it here, there is 1, 2, 3. That is not a Brisbane player. 3 people in the picture. And to possibly stop him without giving a penalty, you need people in the picture. Because, okay, so escort, but it's so hard to escort right now.
Correct.
It is so hard. Refs pull up ones that are good, bad, like it's so mixed. But if you have players around the ball, you're a chance to stop it. So for Bulldogs this weekend, all I say is put players around the ball and good things happen.
Yeah. And we're not going to roll on the clip, but then they force an error. Warbrick goes over on the right-hand side and gets tackled into touch. So
Scramble.
So that's what kind of interests me because, for years and years, we had teams like the Roosters and the Storm giving away intentional penalties on the goal line to get their defense set, and then they back themselves to get a stop. In a situation like this, it's not really much different to conceding a dropout anymore, is it? Because they're not going to, it's not like a gift 2 points from the sideline. No team's ever going to take a penalty goal from there, realistically. And, if you let him contest it, and as you said, it's not, you don't have at least 2 or 3 guys there. If you let Coates contest 1-on-1, it's over. He's going to score.
Done.
So I don't mind this strategy. The only issue is if people start getting sin bin for it.
Yeah. And you don't want that.
No.
Because how many of those would it take for a ref to sin bin you?
3.
3, yeah.
Everyone gets 2. There you go. You got 2 free passes to stop Xavier Coates.
But I will say, this is a coach's / Madge Maguire's dream video because all they'll be saying is, give away a penalty. We don't care. We'll defend our try line.
Yep,
and what did they do?
And they defended.
So if you're that confident in your try line D, I'd be doing that.
Yep. Interesting to see how they handle it if teams keep doing it to Melbourne and the Roosters in the finals. We'll see what the NRL does. But anyway, it's not our place to come up with a solution for that. All right. We all saw that Phillies fan take the ball away from the kid over the weekend. Real rough stuff. So, first of all, what were your thoughts on that you can say on air?
What goes through people's heads?
The entitlement, the sheer entitlement.
Who are you?
Yeah. If you were getting if we asked the world's best scientists to get in the lab and make what the stereotypical view of a Karen is, it would be that lady. Everything, the haircut, the sense of the arrogance, all of it.
Like, that is a kid who is at a game supporting his heroes. Yeah. I get it, you're a supporter as well, but it's a different view from a child's eyes to your eyes. What are you doing?
I've gone to a few baseball games when I'm over there. If I caught a ball, I'd 100% just give it to a kid. I might take a little photo with it for a keepsake. Yeah. 100% just give it to a kid. What are we doing?
I'm really angry.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, shout out to the Miami Marlins, the home team, who got a gift bag and gave it to the kid. And then Beta, the Phillies player who hit the home run, got a photo with him afterwards. So he ended up getting a fairly cool experience out of the whole thing. But yeah, pretty rough stuff. Shout out to the dad as well, who immediately was just like, just take it. I don't want to get into a fight at the baseball.
Yeah, but then I see the guy, like people on Twitter and X or whatever.
It's like, what do you want him to do?
What do you want him to do? Like, like fight?
Yeah, exactly. That makes it worse.
It's not tough. Like, exactly. Anyway, but another one that peed me off yesterday in there. NFL.
Oh, the bloke pushing Lamar.
What are you doing?
Insane.
And look, I don't.
He got banned for life, by the way.
Life?
Yeah, today I saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not condoning any sort of violence, but you don't have the right to hit anyone. It's just like if you walk out of here right now and someone hits you, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Honestly, I reckon you can throw them too.
I'll try my best. I can't, but I'll try my best.
That could be Balboa, I've heard. But no, that really annoys me. Yeah. What gives you the right to think that you can touch?
Well, that's the thing. The thing that irked me about that, I was watching the game. The commentator goes, "Oh, they're both to blame there." It's like, Lamar's not to blame. What are you talking about?
No.
He didn't get into the stands and Ron Artest the guy or anything. He just pushed him back, and so he should.
He's celebrating a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then
some guy, terrible.
And then they got mowed down. But
so that brings me to this week's question, which is, what are your best and worst fan interactions?
I would say it wasn't me, a fan reaction, but it was, we had Brookie once.
Yeah.
And Benny Barber was on fire. And you know how you can walk through Brookie, they close the you walk through the tunnel bit, but they close it with like this plastic.
And there's the fans are on
the
both
gates.
sides.
Yeah. Someone like spat right on him.
Oh.
And mate, he flipped it.
Don't blame him.
You're fuming for him. It's disgusting. So it's just, I know it's not a really nice segment to be talking about, but I just don't understand. Like sometimes our fans think they have the entitlement to discussing things, hit, spit, this. If it was the other way around, we're losing our jobs.
Correct.
And even I'm sick of these TikTok people, and you're allowed an opinion. I'm allowed an opinion. That's not saying that, but to go on and degrade a person and
there's a line between criticism and just being a bully.
Just shut up. Mate, I could come to your job and pick you apart. 100% I could do it.
We should do that. We should find out, because like a lot of these people that take shots at players are they're kids, or they're working at Woolies or Mac or something. You should be allowed to go to them, be their shift supervisor at Woolies 1 week and supervise how they stack shelves, bag them,
clean up all three.
Yeah, and you just keep knocking it back on the ground, pick it up again.
No, it annoys me, but I just feel it's a tough game. We get stuff wrong all the time, but it's also okay. People stuff up in life.
People make mistakes. Refs make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
I'd have to say my best fan engagement would have to be when they stormed the field in my last.
I was gonna say when you got cheered off at
Belmore. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool moment at Belmore when Des wouldn't put me on and I would chanting my last name. And it's funny. One of my old trainers, Harry Harris, great guy, English guy. I love him to death. He reckons I was like standing up, like pumping the crowd up on the bench, which is not true, but it's a good story. So, mate, some cracker moments there with that fan base.
Fantastic. All right, listener questions. Matt from Doha says, as one of the most competitive guys to have played the game, how do you approach late season dead rubbers, and how much would it still piss you off to concede 50, even if there's nothing to play for?
Oh man, spewing because
you never want to look silly.
Yeah, and like there's still a lesson to be learned out of the Dolphins whipping Canberra as a club, and Ricky wouldn't have just let that go. Well, I don't think so. I've never had Ricky, but I just know the type of guy he is. He would have brought the guys in who played, maybe minus Horsburgh, because he was there just to lead them and do a job.
And burn the captain's challenge in 5 minutes. Loved that.
Loved it. But I think that's unacceptable for our club. And all you guys are here wanting to play first grade, so that's the standard, and we got to get a little bit better. I would, speaking about dead rubbers and whatever, I rarely would. I hated to rest.
Yeah,
I really disliked it. So I used to sort of, if there was an opportunity where I got to back up or whatever, I was always there. And a good club, a good system, always has the same, I suppose, like little structure things I want to do every week. They got to lead the
procedure.
No matter what,
no matter
it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So they're hard though. They are hard because you're not probably concentrating on that game, but they still mean something.
Yeah, of course. All right, Wayne from Penrith. G'day, boys. Long-suffering Sharks fan. Who was the Shark that pissed you off more than any other on the field in your playing career? The one you wanted to hurt most? I'm going to say you can't say Mike Lennon.
No, because I loved him.
Yeah,
even when I didn't.
I only what was 1 year at the Sharks too.
Yeah,
Anyway, but a long time Shark. Who got to you?
Yeah, like I used to have some really good battles with Wado, Wade Graham.
That makes sense.
But like, not ones where we were on.
It's just good spirited ones.
Yeah, because he was such a hard guy to come up against, and I feel I struggled against him a lot, to be honest. But Ronnie Mulatalo, when I was at the Tigers,
he would be a nightmare to play against.
My 150th.
Yeah,
I was playing. Was I in the middle? Can't remember, but I think I think I come on in the middle and I missed a tackle, led to a try, and he was into me. And because I knew I couldn't say anything, I wanted to like go back to my prime grub days, and just go back at him. But sometimes, what do you say? Sometimes if you are a bit of a if you're a bit of a grub, sometimes you got to concede that they got you.
You get got.
You get got. So that's probably the only one I could really think of from that one game that he absolutely went after me. Good on him. I'll say good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike from Lugano, what's it like when a club has to farewell a player, a well-liked player, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, a player that's fallen out with the coach? Is there official farewell ceremonies, and is it sometimes awkward?
Well, yeah, there's always a farewell for everyone. Everyone gets one. I feel, there's some nice farewells and ones that clubs will make it special because the person's had a really good impact on that club. But, there's also ones where the person hasn't and they've probably done something that the club doesn't like or the players don't like. So, but there's the tough ones like where, people have just haven't got re-signed and they're a good person and so they are hard. It's hard because you're mates.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want to see your mates hurt. And
no,
this is our job. It's our bread and butter. We strive for this since we're kids, and it is awkward sometimes.
I'm sure it is
because there's also club politics involved and agendas. Like there's a lot that sort of goes into it.
What was your dog's one like?
Which one? There's about 12 of them.
I know, but the first one.
Oh man, I was a blubbery mess when I had to tell the boys, and I never really come to terms with it for a long time because I just never seen it happening, and it was all like a bad nightmare. Like when it first, there was an article, and I was like, nah, surely not. And then it grew and grew and grew, and I was like, no, like don't make me make this decision. But look, man, it's rugby league, and the one thing I will say to all young guys now is understand that that's the game. It's hard. It's loyalty, but loyalty works both ways. That's one thing I will say when people come at players Clubs do it all the time, and that's that. But I also think that's fine because it might not work for you at one club, but you end up somewhere else and you blossom. But it's not the same. I wanted to be a one club man. That was my goal. But I don't think there's many people like that anymore. Just because they don't want to get. I don't think they want to get hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you
understand what I'm saying?
that
Like
completely.
you know when you don't want to fuck. It's not that you don't buy in, but I don't know. It's tough. Like I was from there. I never wanted to leave. But then people say, "Oh, you got good cash," and I was like, "Yeah, but that doesn't mean I still don't love the place."
No, of course.
I grew up
it's there. Like every player every story you read about a Premier League player who got cut from like their junior team, like they were a youth academy player at the club they loved, and then they had to go elsewhere to figure themselves out. I'm sure they never wanted to leave those teams either.
And that's why I don't really like the NBA because players chop and change every year.
Yeah,
there's no pride. Like, pride's the wrong word, but like, you know what I mean? There's no one that
not
wants
a great
to play
deal
for
of
Boston,
longevity.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, there's no
you
one
don't get guys that. Yeah, you don't get that. Well, it's also hard, right? Because if you grow up a boyhood, you're Boston born and raised, you grow up a Celtics fan, you only want to play for Celtics, but you're really good. You go to the draft.
You draft.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, got no choice. What are you going to do? Wait 4 years and then sign with them? Maybe, but
you don't love them that much.
But by then, by that point, you probably got an affinity to your new team anyway, right?
So, yeah.
All right, Christian Tyree. There's a bit of similarity to 2014 when the Dogs knocked over Melbourne in the first week of the finals after poor form leading into the game. Did anything change in that week leading into the game? And do you think the current team can do the same? Well, we know the second part of the answer is yes. But what changed going into that game from an internal point of view?
Tim Laffey.
Tim, go out there and play the best game of your life.
Give the ball to your best player. No, you know what it was? It was because what we had done in 2012 and like we really knew what our blueprint was. We really knew even though we weren't beating everyone that year, we were so angry at ourselves, going like, how aren't we winning? Like, because winning just doesn't happen. You got to get into the grind. You can't dip the toe in. You got to go after every game, and we didn't do that year. But there were still times where we just went, how? So we just said, stuff Melbourne, like stuff who, not stuff the individual, but it's like, yes, they've got Cooper Cronk. Yes, they've got Cam Smith. Yes, they've got Billy Slater, blah, blah, blah. But we cannot care about that. We got to go down to Melbourne. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we got to get back to our 212, our mojo, and our, it's not arrogance, but that confidence that you have of, we don't care if we're in Melbourne. It doesn't phase us, and I think that's the.
It's the only way to do it, right? It's to just not be overawed by the situation.
Yeah, and I think that's what Queensland done to us for years. I really do. Like, they just had such good players, and it's not. And people sometimes get this wrong. I don't mean I didn't respect them.
Yeah, but
I don't respect what had happened over the last years. I just you can't, because you missed the jump. And I think that's what the Dogs have got to do. They've got to go down there. They've got to play a really suffocating game, like you said. Get back to attacking with their defense.
Yep.
Not giving Melbourne what they want. Bomb the corners. Get into Coates. Get into their back five. They get them on the front foot a lot. And control Harry. Harry Grant is going to feel he has to do a lot of work. You just feel that.
Oh, for sure.
He feels
it's been like that since Hughes went down until Grant got suspended. It was like that every week. But he's playing great.
He's playing great. Yeah. That's what scares me, So, but if we contain Harry, not give him every look he wants, slow down the ruck, there's a lot to do. Escort, this and that, man. I'm very, very, honestly, very confident. Grind the grinders. Bulldogs the Bulldogs right now feel they're probably the best grinding side in the comp, and they're happy to go toe-to-toe with anyone.
Absolutely. All right. And Grub, we're back into good-spirited grubbiness this week. This was great. This was awesome.
Oh, Jez.
So good.
I'm not going to mention who, but he's on one of my mates' I was about to say OnlyFans. not that. Close friends.
Right.
So he always videos him.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah. And flipping off RTS. So good. They're great mates, apparently. They're just good, clean fun.
I love that.
Clean grubbery. He was getting photos of all the Warriors fans, Warriors players after the game. Everyone loves Jazz. So good.
Talking about one guy that I think would be very excited for Monday. it looks like he would have a really
Looks like a fun guy to be around.
Really good time.
And he was given as good as he got with the Raiders fans earlier in the year with the Viking clap stuff. It was great. He handled that like a champ. Like, yeah, seems like a good dude.
He went straight on the front foot.
And it's the only way he can do it.
Straight on the front foot.
Get away. All right. One thing we're looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to the best Saturday of the year. The first Saturday footy finals is my favorite sort of sports day of the year. You get two semis. One's usually a knockout game and one's usually a seeding game. But on Saturday, they're both knockout games. Do or die.
Huge.
Yeah. I hate that there's a gap, though. It's supposed to be a double header. It's supposed to be back to back. 4 and 8. What are we doing? What am I going to do for 2 hours?
Well, I can know what you can do before. I'm not sure if you're been to horse races. So you can go horse races all day. Into the Wallabies, I think they play at 2.
Jeez. It's a big
into the double.
Yeah.
So there's
like void from 6 till 8.
8. I don't know.
No, it's my birthday as well.
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man.
Lovely.
That's why it's always once every 7 years. The first footy finals is on my birthday. It's great. But
I'm looking forward to the aerial battle at Shah Park.
Yep.
4 great wingers. Love going toe to toe in the air. I'm actually just keen to see who comes out on top.
Should be awesome.
So I'm excited. It's going to be big. The doggies are going to be having
a party.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I might be going out to Reesby to watch it with some mates again. So that'll be good.
Nice. You love the Workers.
I do.
Is Reesby Workers? What was the place used to be?
You know, the Pony, as we got to the bottom of after the end of the show. The
Pony's not still there though, right?
No, it's now the sports bar, which is called Rogues, and it's very good.
Is there any?
Don't think there's any nightclub of any kind
late
there anymore.
nights.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But actually, no. I was there on a Friday night. It didn't look like it. So, and I left there at probably what time the footy finished? Like 10. So I probably left about 11.
You're at the Pony Man, not me.
Well, it's not called that anymore. But anyway, they've still got the dank billiard tables in the back of the room at least, which I like. You got to keep some. You got to have some traditions.
Nice.
You got to have something. All right. We'll be back next week. Say goodbye, Josh.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thank you, mate. And it's goodbye from me.